Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna be drawing faces and such. Um, I was asked a while back how we draw hairs or how I draw hair, and I figured that this was the perfect way to introduce the idea of drawing faces as well. That way it's like all combined as one. I'm going to use some examples that I've already been working on to give you an idea of what I'm trying to say. And then we're going to go back and I'm going to draw maybe like one or two just to give you guys some ideas. I'm also practicing backgrounds myself so that I can do a little lesson on those later, but that's for a different time. We're going to focus on faces for now. So how to draw faces. Yes, that is probably one of the most complicated-ish parts of drawing, understanding how to draw like a face. I don't know how to draw like realistic people, just because it's not my thing. But I can give you an idea of how I do like caricatures out of said people. So we're gonna start with this one right here, with this lady. So the way I draw faces goes around the same for everyone, regardless if it's like a lady or a guy. It's always going to be a square. Why a square? Well, to me, it's easier to understand a face as a square instead of a circle. Just because squares have faces, and when they have faces, it it makes it easier to imagine where everything is going to be. So, for example, her face to me, if I were to draw as a square, it'd be a little something like this. And so to me, this makes a lot more sense than drawing like a whole like circle and then adding the neck and all this. That doesn't suit well with me, because at that point, after I've done doing all this, I round it out, and it goes the same. Even like a front view, his face is literally just a square, and then I just added extra things to it to make it stand out a little bit more. There goes his neck here, and then his nose would go between here, because like where the nose sits. Eyes would go here, and then a mouth would go bam. And that's a face to me. It's really silly. It probably makes no sense, but I promise you it's pretty easy, because then you just kind of figure out where everything goes. And like if you try to draw glasses on them, right, it just kind of goes well with everything. I don't know. I feel like this is the easiest way for me to explain it. Once you try to get a little more detailed into it, then I exaggerate some stuff and I add lines here and there depending on the age and stuff. If I want to make them look older, younger, more like toned, so like a jaw, I do something like this. And then that just comes with practice. The more faces you see, the better you get at it. But I also recommend using just like shapes to color out where a face would be if you're starting out. This would remove having to think about where everything goes, and you'll just worry about the big picture. So like his neck, I believe, was something like this. And he had his ears here, other ears here. His face went here because he'd be looking at us this way. But because I'm trying to make him look mysterious and I'm trying to block out everything using just lights and values, then it's made it a lot easier, because okay, the face is being hidden, the rest of this is being hidden. So ideally his mouth would go here. Does that make any sense? I think it'll make much more sense once I start drawing it out. And you can, once you get the hang of that, you can start adding those features onto like your studies and making them pop out a little bit more, instead of just looking like bland little caricatures. I mean, bland little figures. So like these here did the same thing with all these. And it for like guys are gonna be a lot more like pointy, right? And then girls, I tend to make them a little bit more rounder, so they're not as pointy. I say that and I make a pointy on the top right. Like that. That's just how I do it at least. See, she's a bit more round. And meanwhile, this one's a little bit sharper. Sharper, rounder. You can kind of tell. And I'll show you as I go. But yeah, let's try to do a couple. I'll do it on this layer. So the same thing I've been teaching you guys. We're gonna start with our low opacity color. And today I'm gonna use blue. Because why not? Make sure it's just a good blue. Go a little bit darker. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let us begin by drawing faces. I can have these references on the screen because it's not anything inappropriate. If you guys wish to follow along, I like to use random models I find on Pinterest. I know that sometimes AI gets on here and it's starting to translate over like photography and stuff like that, so try to be careful because anatomy for AI is kind of chalked up. So if you can use what's it called, like professional models or like famous people, that's pretty cool. I don't know who this guy is, but he looks like I've seen him in a movie somewhere. So his head is pretty rectangled, as you can tell. And his neck goes up to here. His clothes does a good job at hiding the rest of his body. So we're gonna have to guess where the rest will sit. But as long as we have a decent idea, we'll be fine. His ears are pretty massive, no offense. So that means that ideally, if we were to block it out to make sure our work is right, it would be something like this. And then his eyebrows go here. And it's okay to make him look a little cute in the beginning, right? Because we're just trying to figure out all the annoying parts. This is just us sketching it out. It's not the finished piece. And I also teach you how to draw hair, understand hair. Because hair is just a big shape. That's all it is. Hair is just one big shape. So if you try to draw everything like strand by strand, you're going to complicate it a lot more. So it's easier if you just condense it all to one big shape. And I'll show you what I mean in just a second. Okay, so once we got the shape down, actually let me hit save. We're gonna go ahead and outline it. We're gonna use this second layer, so we're gonna be rocking 3 layers today. We're gonna use this second layer for me to basically show you what it would look like if we tried outlining it. Yeah. I don't know how to say that by making sense. Keeping the same shape idea. As you can see, his jawline kind of sticks out at the bottom. Goes up and about. I want to say kind of center to that jawline right there. I mean that jaw. Cool. That would be his neck. His neck also goes up to back here-ish. We don't have to worry too much about his clothes. I'm just gonna give the idea of his clothes being there. Okay. So bam. That's what we have so far. And his other ears over here. His other ear goes here. We want to keep it as even to this one as possible. It doesn't have to be too even, but just somewhat even. So here would go here. And now I don't like the way this line goes, so I'm just gonna fix it a little bit. Cool. His lip goes here. He's very angry. He's a very angry looking guy. So I want to keep his nostrils a little like inflated. And his nose is pretty big. So we want to keep that shape of a big nose. He's got very bushy eyebrows. And I like to add some detail like right here. And then for the hair, this is how you draw hair. Look at the shape of his hair. It's kind of like a military-ish cut, right? He has a little bit of bald spot here. Like a widow's peak. And then we're just gonna color it in. Because it's like, how do you say it? It's not like complete hair, right? As you can see on the picture, he's got like little cuts in his hair. So I'm just gonna color that in like this. And then I want to make him look angrier. He looks a little too happy on this one. I like to zoom in a little bit closer to the face because you want to get a good look at this person. Right? And now we're just gonna rough him up a little bit more. Okay. Like that. I don't really like this ear though, so I'm gonna delete it real quick. I feel like I could go lower. For me, ears are just like a big C. I don't like to think too much about them. I really don't like his ear over here though. I don't like the idea of it here. It doesn't feel right. But that's what the reference says. It's not that detailed though, so you don't have to worry about it too much. Cool. So now that we know what he should look like, I'm just gonna lower the opacity on this one a bit more. Go on this one, and we're gonna make a clean drawing of it. This way we know exactly what we're drawing. Oof. So it's too bright. Okay. Usually I like to do something like this. This one on a separate layer. Right. But this was Liam from Oasis. I really thought it was Liam for a second. Right. Now for the nose. I like to keep that same shape going. I don't really like how he drew his nose here. So we're just gonna keep the shape of it. I'm just gonna like that. His mouth is a lot smaller than I drew it out to be. Oh, sometimes some lips will just give you the hardest time. Okay. And go down. And then this goes for the neck. I like to color this in for the neck. And then, like, I don't like a lot of things in this drawing. This picture, I don't like the way his clothes are shaped. But, not we're drawing today, so it doesn't matter. Cool. Now draw the hair again. Just one big shape. Doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm not gonna sit here and draw every single strand of hair in this man's head, but just trying to get the good shape of it. Cool. Look at this. Awesome. You're gonna make the brush a bit bigger. I'm just gonna fill in pieces. Doesn't have to be completely filled in, because he does look like he's got a little bit of balding going on. So we're just gonna keep it nice and easy. Now his head, it's got like a lot of little lines because he looks like he's angry all the time. So I'm going to play on with that and exaggerate it a bit. I want to grab this just a little bit, drag it over to the left. You don't have to be this nitpicky. I am, but you don't have to be. I just like to have a little bit of room on this side of the face. There we go. Cool. That's how we draw this man. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of lines here, because he's really like, I don't know, wrinkly. Okay. Next one. And again, these are caricatures, so because there's absolutely no one to draw like an actual person. I don't really care much for actual people. Drawing actual people. I like to give them silly little looks and stuff. Alright, this next guy looks fun. He's got his little bunny ear hat. Alright. So, again, we're gonna sketch him out. We don't have to draw the complete face, right? For now, we're just kind of getting the idea of how this guy looks like. We know his nose goes here. His mouth is here. Got a little cigarette here. And he's got like a really upset face. This bunny ear thing makes his head look a little bit more rounder than it has to be, right? I'm just gonna draw that too. I want to grab this and just rotate it just ever so slightly. Cool. And we're not gonna worry about when drawing his whole clothes. Again, that's not what we're here for. We're just here to borrow this man's gorgeous face and draw some people. Cool. We got a basic shape of how his face looks like. Move on to trying to do a little bit of outlining just to understand where everything falls. I want to start with understanding how his little bunny mask thing works, because it is slightly rounder on the outside and it's like stretched out. And it wraps around like here. It's got that little flap. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. And then we're gonna draw like a little line here for the chin. His nose goes here in the middle. Draw little lines right here to indicate his nose goes here. His eyes go over here. They're kind of like sad looking, if that makes sense. He looks tired, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna give it like a more like looking eyes. Cool. And we're gonna drag this one over just a little bit to the left. They're a little too far apart. His eyebrows. He's got like a meh look to him. And he's got same thing. Got a little widow's peak right here as well, like the other guy. I'm not gonna worry too much about the hair because it's hidden, but it's there. But if you wanted to give him long hair, you know, go ahead. It might look better with long hair, more silly. But we're gonna keep it true to the reference. And we're just not gonna worry too much about the clothes. It's whatever. Just want the face for now. His bunny ears. Other bunny ear. Cool. Now we're gonna go to this one, and we're just gonna draw them perfectly because we understood the assignment. We know where everything ideally should go. Right. Cool. And his mouth, his chin. Got that angry eyebrow thing going on here. And he doesn't have anything to worry about, like wrinkles or whatever, so this does not apply to him. Like adding wrinkles and all that, like that. He's not old, he's a relatively young looking guy. All right, again, his hair, we just want the shape, we don't want the whole thing. But you're always free to exaggerate your drawings a little bit more if you feel like it'll make it look better. For here, I'm gonna show you what I mean by the hair is all just a shape. I'm going to add some more hair to him. So we're gonna do him a favor. We're gonna give him more hair. Button here. That's not there, but I'm adding it there. Okay, so let's say our friend here had more hair, right? Let's say he had more hair on the sides, but he was not so lucky on the front. That's fine. We'll just add some hair sticking up from the sides here. Here. So that'd be a string of hair, a little lock of hair that sticks up here. So his hair is a little bit longer. Just gonna fill it in. And let's add some little texture underneath his eye because he does look tired. Take a look at him. Yep, he doesn't have anything else for us to worry about. Maybe this. But it's not really that big of a deal. Cool. And that's our bunny guy. I really like the eyes, so the eyes have been bothering me from the beginning. Just gonna grab it. Just gonna rotate it over just a little bit. That's fine. Again, like I mentioned before in the first video, when it comes to like portraits and stuff, symmetry isn't that big of a deal. Faces are always going to be a little bit asymmetrical, and that's fine. There's nothing we can really do about that. That's just how the body looks. This is how it is. I like to add some shadow here and there, just to make it stand out a little bit more. Cool. Now we're just going to finish off his costume. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. Then I do one more. I wish I could find a really cool one for Wendy. Wish, because there's more here, so it'd be easier to draw. Not easier, but it'd be a good reference to give you all for drawing hairs and stuff. Let's see. Oh, we could do this guy. His hair is pretty cool. I think it'd be a pretty good reference to give you guys on how to draw hair. Okay, last one. I might speed up this one just so this video isn't too long, because I don't even know how long it already is. Let me see. Yeah, it's pretty long. All right, so we're gonna speed up this one. I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, and remember, capture the face. So we're going to figure out its shape. Right, and now we're gonna go ahead and outline it, figure out his shape, and we'll see you guys back when we do the complete outline. Alright, cool. And now that we have a basic idea of how he looks like, which I think he looks cooler than the rest, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna start cleaning it up. Oh, noses, I forgot to tell you guys, they're basically triangles. That's just how I tackle them. It's the easiest way to tackle them without breaking your back. Yeah, just gonna color them in. Oh, I did this wrong. There we go. And then I like to draw these little lines for noses. They don't have any significance. I just think they look cool. As you can see, the older they are, they have like more detail, which is kind of weird, but that's just how it is. Right, and then his mustache. Again, this is facial hair. Same thing as regular hair. We just need the shape, and we color in the rest. We use little lines to mark it out. Cool. I'm gonna make this a little bit like to match up. Okay, and his mouth does some weird thing like this, and I like to put this here. You don't have to. I like to just do it. Okay. I wanted to do this like little wrinkles on his head. He doesn't really have them, but I thought they look cool. Right, and now for the hair. Again, just a shape. So not that his hair does a thing like this. and it swooshes up like so. We're gonna just continue to swoosh up. So instead of trying to draw every single swoosh, we're just gonna do a little bit of it. It does the same thing here. Right, his ear goes here. And then he continues to swoosh. Cool. And that's it. So instead of trying to focus on doing every single little strand, I know I'm saying this a lot, but I cannot stress this enough. You don't have to do every single little strand. If you get the shape, you can get the small idea of it, you're fine. That's all you need. You don't need to go any more crazy than that already is. Because if you just stand there and you go one by one by one by one, you're gonna lose your mind. So this just makes it easier. And then we're just gonna color it in like so. His hair isn't black, it's gray, but so what? Get the idea. And you can leave these little white marks here to indicate like that's where some highlight is at. It's a lot more darker at the bottom, so you can fill that in. And then you can like not fill in as much as you go top. Cool. And then you just draw his clothes if you want to, make him look nice and handsome. Bow tie. This cool little sweater. Bam. That's our old guy, our old dude, our silly old dude. And we're gonna delete some of this just because it's too thick. We don't want it too that thick. Cool. I'm going to older. One more. Tired. Cool. And that's how you draw people. And hair. Easiest part is always going to be the hair. The rest is going to be a little complicated. You have to get used to it. But the hair will always be the easiest and it won't be as complicated. So that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Hope you kind of understood what I mean when I said to draw faces. You could start by learning how to draw a skull if you want to, but I mean it's essentially the same thing, right? I just recommend breaking it down into shapes, and even if you have to start with just like dots, right, like so, and then building it up from there, then you go ahead and do so. But I would suggest understanding this way where everything goes. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope this one made a lot more sense. This one looks more like what I wanted it to look like. I don't know what happened here, but that's essentially what you want to do. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Leave it down in the comments below. I hope again it made sense, and be sure to join the Discord server. If you have any other questions, if you want to share your practices, if you want to do whatever, link will be in the description. Thank you all so much for the support that everyone has been giving me lately. It's been really super helpful and super nice to see that a lot of people are enjoying my videos and the things I put out. I hope to continue to put out more great things in the future. I'm hoping next time I can go over hands. I love drawing hands. My favorite thing to do the whole world. Maybe feet, put the two together. I don't know. I can explain that one a lot better than faces. Faces, you just kind of have to mess with it and figure out your style as you go. But finding your style can be a whole different thing for another video too. But yeah, everyone have a good rest of your day. Thank you guys so much again. Appreciate it. I'll see you then. Bye bye.